Hello friends, I am Lakshman. You're watching Learn Programming by Lucky Sir YouTube channel. In this video, you will know the top common problems as a new programmer face. Your first job as a programmer starts off exciting, but after a few weeks, the downsides of the job, deadlines, bug reports, being yelled at by your manager starting getting to you. But all is not lost. The good news is that everyone makes mistakes. All of the mistakes you are making have been made by others who started off just like you. Other new programmers took those problems in stride, looked for solutions, and came out better at the end. So, can you? So, let's look at some of the most common problems new programmers face to learn how can you gain perspective and fix your own issues. The first one is not understanding the user. The problem is in software development, user centricity is not an option, it is a priority. Of course, to make any software user centric, you have to know what users want. Your users may have opinions about how a product should work. These opinions may differ from those of your development team, but it is often difficult for new programmers to understand what their users want since they rarely get to interact with them directly. Sure, project management techniques like Agile, Scrum make it easier for development team to update the software as user demands change throughout the development cycle. But it can be challenging for programmers who are still learning the ropes to balance the needs of the user with the lack of access to them. So, how to fix that problem? Ultimately, the people who will use your product will be the end users. So, target the people who have direct access to the users. If you really want to know what your users expect, go to the user experience experts or designers. They are required to approach each product with a human centered design approach and are given direct access to the people who will actually be using the end product. Their insight will give direction to your code. Then test your product. If you really want to know what your users think about your product, test it. Successful companies like Apple often release beta versions of their products to see how users will react to them before they are officially launched. This helps them fix any bugs and any issues users might point out. The second one is debugging. The problem is debugging. All of this sounds overwhelming, doesn't it? And it is even more so for new programmers. Some bugs are easy to debug, but a lot are not, which can lead to lost development time and endless frustration for new programmers. But the good news is that bugs are common in programming. In fact, even the best written code can have them and they can be fixed. Then, how to fix this problem? In professional football, it is said that the best defense is good offense. When applied to programming, the best defense against bugs is a good debugging strategy. As a new programmer, incorporating debugging strategies can help you too. So here is what you can do. Reduce the error. Reproduce the error. Spending countless hours trying to fix a problem that you don't understand can be a strain. To fix your bugs, understand why they happened, how, start by reproducing them. What you find will give you a good idea on how to fix them. The next point is get help. This tip might be obvious, but when projects are on critical deadline, most new programmers tend to panic first and then think later. If you cannot reproduce a bug, get help. The tester who found the bug can help reproduce it for you. The third one is keeping up with technology. So there are two ways you can to fix this problem. Take some time to learn new systems. There are only so many hours in the workday to get things done, but it will not hurt to squeeze in 20 to 30 minutes to learn how new tools work. For example, if you think that you would work better with an updated version of your project management software, learn how to use it in your spare time and use it to improve your workflow once you finally get acclimated to it. The second thing, keep up with the latest trends. Reading might not be on your list of priorities when there are work deadlines to meet, but keeping up with the latest programming trends will only help you. Learning new coding practices and tools means you will get better at creating code and can develop more innovative products. So to make learning a more manageable practice, use readily available resources like Code Academy and Stack Overflow. The fourth one is communication. As a new programmer, you probably don't know anyone in your new workplace. Sure, maybe you know the colleague who told you about the job opening, but not the members of your team or the project manager you will be working with. And if you don't know them, you might hesitate to talk to them about anything from code related issues to getting to know the corporate pecking order. Poor communication is a problem the most new programmers face at some point. And the worst part is that it can cause conflicts in the workplace. If you find yourself unclear about issue regarding a project, you might not know how to fix them or get help if you can't talk to your teammates. For example, you can surround yourself with code merging issues. If you don't coordinate with your team members, this is what I went through as a new hire in a software development company. Everyone on a team followed a coding strategy that I was completely unfamiliar with. As a result, I ran into a lot of merging conflicts and often clashed with my team members. The blame for poor communication falls on you because it is in your power to control. If you don't try to build good communication with your team, you are ultimately responsible for the problem. So then how can you fix this problem? Be proactive. Communicating only when you need something or ask a question is not going to cut in the workplace. Mingle with your colleagues and don't be afraid to ask them questions, especially about any problem you are facing at work. You can get accustomed to the workplace culture faster if you open up to other people. And if you are a shy person, well, your lack of self confidence is something that you will have to work on. The second thing is be consistent. There will be times when you might not be clear or cohesive enough in what you say, and this causes problems. Accept that there will be moments like these, learn from them, and do better next time. Practice until you are able to express yourself more fluently. The fifth one is time estimation. Break down task. The best way to make task more manageable is to break them down into a series of small tasks. Did a question and answer just identify a dozen bugs in your work? Look at each fix as a mini task and estimate the time it might take you to complete each of these tasks. Break down your workload. This way will keep things from becoming overwhelming. The second thing is time yourself appropriately. Give each task a time frame for completion, but give yourself a buffer too. For example, if a task would normally take 20 minutes, set yourself a buffer by keeping the time frame at 30 minutes. You never know what disturbance may occur. The sixth one is security threats. You cannot stop someone from trying to hack your code, but you can make it harder for them to do so by securing it against common hacking methods. So here is how. Use parameterized queries for SQL injections. An attacker can use SQL injection to steal data like a user's login details. To prevent this kind of attack, use parameterized queries in the programming language you use. The second thing is keep your workstation secure. Attackers are not always online. They can be someone in your workplace too. For example, a fired employee may decide to get back at your employer by using your system to steal or modify data on a project. To prevent this kind of attack from happening, log off from any software you are using after you are done with it. The seventh one is working with another person's code. Working on another program code can be a problem, but it is not a solvable problem. And the best way to approach it is to take it as a challenge. So here is how to start. Realize that it is your code now. Fixing this issue means changing your attitude about it. If someone left the code to you, it is not their code anymore. It's your now. Taking responsibility from the beginning will take the edge of the task. So the second thing is spend more time regarding code. Spend some time understanding how other developer worked, both their approach and style. You will have an easier time adapting to the code once you have done that. So that's all about some of the common problems a new programmer face in software company. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more and more latest videos. So thank you for the visit. Have a nice day.